Welcome back to Spyro the Dragon in the Reignited Trilogy. We are in the Magic Crafter's world. And as you can probably hear, there is a thief right over here. And you really want to get him that first time because he can go up platforms and he's not fun to deal with. Because he'll run down here and then he will jump up to that platform. And there is no way for you to get him while he's there, so you have to hit him in one cycle here. Got armor. I sound a little strained. Weird. Is that better? Unless you mean my tone.
Welcome to Magic Crafters. I want you to release the dragons, reclaim our treasure, and recover the eggs from those pesky blue thieves.
Oh, that was probably because I was mildly frustrated. Because while trying to set this up, I had to deal with a cat who kept trying to eat the microphone. So, that's probably what caused that. No, I'm okay. But yeah, honestly, the best way to deal with that thief is to just load in from that spot there. And then, get him. Also, apparently that chest I blew up flew over here and killed that guy. I didn't realize it could do that. That's kind of cool. I did it again! So yeah, those wizards will bring up certain platforms to prevent you from moving around. Get a little close to my mouth. There we go. Sometimes they will do it in a pattern, so they'll go up, down, and then you can hit them that way, and sometimes they'll just do it until you walk away. It's always good to be prepared for which one you need to deal with. Also, the fodder for here is sheepies with really long tails. I think those are sheep. I can't think of what else they could be. So here's a new introduction that we're getting right now. I'll let Xantor tell us a bit about it.
When you see arrows like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent!
Go ahead, try it.
I really love the Magic Crafter dragons. So a supercharge is what it sounds like. It is a super fast charge that is actually a little hard to control. That basically gives Spyro's charge the ability to hit anything.
This portal leads to a special place where you can learn to fly. I remember when I was a young dragon, earning my wings.
Learn to fly. Got it.
Spyro still don't want to hear any older man stories. But yeah, when Spyro is in a supercharge, he will charge anything. Even if it's huge, even if it is the metal things he can't normally break. In a supercharge, everything will break. And it's really important to get used to working with the supercharge because there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to have to finesse with it. And later on, there is in fact a whole level that relies on being fairly in control with the supercharge, so if you don't learn it now while you can, you're going to be very unhappy. That's a supercharge. Yes, that's not. Also, there's what I was talking about earlier with the fact that they will adjust their aim at the last second to hit you. That's actually not in the original Spyro game. That's something that they added for Reignited, and I'm not really sure why. order to get that chest, we have to actually supercharge down the stairs. Make sure not to hit anything. Also, Spyro has a couple levels of supercharge, which determines how fast he goes. You can tell by the color of the smoke at his feet, and the sound effect that plays means he's sped up. Actually, playing the game, the controller also rumbles, but you can't see that at all. You need to curve right fast and then slam right into that. I can believe it! Where did I see key chest? Gotta be somewhere up over here, and I think I know where it is. I have to remember where this spot is. But I'm fairly certain there's actually a hidden cave. Yeah, right there. You can see it on the map if you look closely. Actually, pretty well hidden because you don't normally look straight at the walls there. It's a very tight glide. Sing or gem. Okay, Sparks. Sparks can't do it while you're charging, so you have to drop out the charge. There's something behind the... Yeah, it was up here by High Case. And there's the Magic Crafters all done. Let's do our usual and start from the very beginning. And go into Alpine Ridge. So welcome to Alpine Ridge. It's interesting. It has these big dudes and then more of these armored dudes. And a lot of them are at edges. These big dudes also flop like the dogs did, but they're nowhere near as hard to hit. And sometimes they'll ride. That right there is where the enemy solidity comes into play, because if you flame and then immediately try to charge, you're gonna bonk against the dead enemy, and the other guy's gonna get a free hit on you. You really need to get used to the fact that enemies do not become intangible until their bodies disappear.
Oh, Spyro! You're not afraid of those big, noisy, gigantic, awful beasts, are you?
Of course not.
Oh, good. I didn't think so.
You really are, though, dude. And even if I talk over them, they're boring. I don't have anything interesting to say on the loading screens. It's a loading screen. Ow. I really don't like that jump because the two magicians are separate and they can really mess you up. Sure I can. Like I said, it's not like I say anything interesting in the loading screens. What? Oh, you sneaky son of a twit. Yeah, this is the point where they're going to start trying to hide things from you. Mess you up. Thing over here. We can glide over here. Oh. Also, that was a interesting little visual glitch there. Technically that was Sparks' last hit, but because I hit a fodder as well, green Sparks appeared, ate a butterfly, and then was still green Sparks. Oh, the wizards, they go, ah! when they see Spyro and try to run away. And that is an extra life butterfly, which fully restores Spark's health. Also, yeah, that happens sometimes. Sparks in the butterfly will just be kind of static. That's another thing that is just happens regularly in the Switch version. I don't really know why.
Thank you for releasing me.
I like that dragon. That dragon looks cool. Also, yeah, as much as I love the game, one thing you really gotta get used to is dealing with the camera. But I think that's pretty much a thing in any platforming game you play ever. I've just gotten really good at being able to estimate what is off camera and how to deal with it, depending on what was on camera just a second ago. Also, I love the dude's little ow. For some reason I find it really hilarious.
Great work, Spyro.
Ooh.
If you keep this up, you'll learn all the tricks of the Magic Crafter's world.
Maybe they're replacement wings like that dude's crystal wings for the other dragon from before. So this is actually really hard. I burned more than a few lives when I first did this, trying to get this, right.
Remember that these blue thieves have stolen eggs outside the Magic Crafter's world as well.
Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
There are actually more with feathered wings. Forget about that. So basically his little thing there is because to progress to the... I always get it wrong. The Beast Maker's world, I believe it is, you have to have a certain amount of dragon eggs. So if you're the type to go straight for the balloonist and check what you need, you will be thinking, okay, I should get a bunch of dragon eggs. So you might not have really paid much attention to the thieves in the earlier stages, so he's trying to tell you that, yeah, there are thieves in other stages where you can get dragon eggs. I find this really hard because the path is very windy, so there's not a whole lot of inner circle you can cut in on. I think you can clip the edges like that, yeah, if you jump high enough. Luckily, Spyro can't actually bonk into that wall if you're hugging it. Oh! You do have to be careful though, because if you try to cut the edges, that might happen. This stage is just really hard for me for some reason, and I'm not really sure why. That, by the way, is why you always want to touch that dragon before you start trying to do anything over here. Because you are going to need the checkpoint. On. It always seems to be on that, the inner straightaway that I lose, or the inner straightaway, the inner part that I lose a lot of speed. Got him! Yeah, if you kill a thief while in mid-area, it'll actually skip the thief's egg animation. Probably because it doesn't want Spyro to, like, fall into the pit. This is the problem that I have with these spots. You have to flame those to get them to give the gems. But they will actually knock Spyro off the platform if you are on it when they go off. You have to flame them and quickly glide to the others. And this took me something like 20 minutes to do when I first played this game. Apparently I've gotten used to Reignited now. I made that look easy. Now I need to figure out where the rest of the gems are, because I'm missing quite a few. Ah, they're down here. At least some of them are. Rude. I'm missing 6. Hello, almighty sparks. Where are they? Oh, that's sneaky. That's very sneaky. Hiding them behind the stairs like this. Means that there's only one that I'm missing. Oh, it's right there. I somehow didn't get that. That is everything for this world, though. Off we go back to the magic crafters. Victory! Since we did clear out this area earlier, we can just completely ignore all the enemies. So to high caves we go. This is another one that... Wow, Spyro! This is another one that gave me some trouble. Yeah. So first of all, this is a secondary path you cannot take. You can try, and you can get through it if you really try, but you're gonna take hits from those spiders. They're fast and they're mean. You're going to have to deal with them different way. Once we get a little further on. I do believe those tornadoes actually will carry Spyro backwards if you're not careful. So it's really good to just wait right there for that one to pass, only if you're really confident you can get up before it goes. Hello.
Please do something about these green druids. They insist on moving everything in sight.
This is a deceptively difficult jump. And that's why. You might not think that him moving would be quite as difficult as it is, but it really is. Right? I mean, he can fly. Why don't you take care of the green druids, huh? Basically, the best option here is to pick an edge you want to go for, and then start gliding once they move towards that edge. Once you flame the wizard, it'll go back to its default position. In the default position, I think the best way is when it is as far to the right as it can go. Also remember that you can drop your glide by hitting top button. Because you're going to need it. Oh, pretty cool. Hey look, it's a picture of that dude again. Still don't remember who that is. Also, this might be the level you were thinking of with all the supercharge ramps, Pi. The good news is, however, we've got a little trick. You see right there, there's some fairies. Well, what happens if you fall in this area? They'll actually catch Spyro. And they'll bring him all the way back to the top of the supercharge ramp. So you can actually charge down to your heart's content here, because the fairies will not let you die. It does not matter how often you fall, how soon you fall, or where you fall in this area, they will pick you back up.
I hate those bugs. When I become big and strong like you, I'll squash them all.
Until then, remember that supercharge makes you invincible.
That's sort of true. Spyro will still die if he falls when in the middle of a supercharge, and you can still get squashed in the middle of a supercharge, though it's very rare that there are going to be areas where you can both be squashed and where there will be supercharge ramps. But he's invincible to basically everything else. This little room here always confused me because there's nothing there. It's just for decoration. But it looks like there should be something there. So when dealing with these spiders, there are two ways to do it. The first way is the obvious one, is to use the supercharge ramp like our friend over there suggested. And it's not a bad plan, but you can tell it's a little difficult to control. Especially because there's a lot of stuff around here that you can bonk on, and bonking immediately ends the supercharge. But there is a better way to do it, which I like to go for the second part, because trying to get a supercharge up the stairs is quite a chore. Be very quick if you're going to do it this way on that. Because these wizards will block the way forward, and they have a very good reason for doing that. Because up here, there's a fairy. Give Spyro a kiss on the nose. And we now have the Super Flame power up, which lets us flame anything, even metal enemies, and they will die. I really like the look of Spyro in this power-up. All of the power-ups in the game have a fairly unique look to them now, at least the ones that used to change Spyro's appearance, and it's really cool. Let's see here. We can glide over here. More stuff! They are not unique per game, though. It is unique per power-up. So the Supercharge and the Super Flame will still look the same in 2 as they do right now. It's just that 2 and 3 added some more. But, I mean, I have no issues with that. I just like the fact that they decided that they wanted to make a unique look to the power-ups. It's really cool. That spot done, we're going to go ahead and re-glide over here. I probably could have taken the spider tunnel back, come to think of it. Oh well. Also note that this area right here is when the fairies start. So once you jump out, you can fall at any point and you will not die. So to begin with, let's go ahead and hit that one over there. Part of the reason that's really important is that as you can see, a lot of these places do not actually have any way for you to get back. You have to fall and have the fairies help you out. But you can't say this place's name was incorrect. This very much is the High Caves. I'm gonna slowly collect all the gems on this route before I do anything else, because I don't want to be distracted. the walls here, the padded walls mixed with the ice. It's so cool looking. There we go. Now we can figure out about the thief. This, as you can tell, is a really, really difficult charge section. Because it has a lot of twists and turns, and unfortunately Spyro's charging does not turn on a dime. Got it though. And yep, just was doing a double check to make sure I didn't miss anything there. As cute as it is, it's not actually because he's embarrassed, it's because fairies are magical, so even a kiss from them is incredibly magical. The return home portal is right here. Assume because it's directly on from the supercharge ramp.
Try combining your supercharge with jumping and gliding, and really explore the high caves.
The way he says that makes me think you could probably get here by just going off the ramp without jumping, but only when I try that I bonk against it. I might just not be doing it right. Still can't get back from here. I thought so too, and I thought it was really cute, but no, it's because fairies are insanely magical. Also, you can glide after you bonk, which is very helpful for things like that when you're trying to get around. Just making sure I didn't miss anything in the area. I believe you can hug the wall and glide over there from that cave there. I just kind of messed it up. And that's what gliding out of a supercharge can do for you. You can get a... Supercharge can give you a lot of height, and then the glide can give you a lot of distance. Combining the two gives Spyro some really impressive movement. Also, that is like the most ineffectual thief in the world. You only run around a tiny pond. We're missing 5. I've never really had a problem getting that thief. Just because literally all you do is chase him to the other side, glide, and there's not really anywhere he can go. Because he's constrained to such a really tight little area. I missed something in here. There it is! And that's High Cave's done. Yeah, basically. Alrighty, so that one is down. And to move on. And you actually have to use a supercharge here to be able to hit that wizard because he is slated to pull it up faster than you can actually hit him. Into another speedway. Briefly forgot the name of him. This could also be where that one picture we were looking at with the crystals was showing, but I'm not, again, I'm not sure. I've never seen a door like that. Also, I really appreciate the helpful fairies with the traffic navigation signs. Oops. Also, I find that interesting that when Spyro hits a speedway, he floats on the top. Because I don't believe the original game did that. I believe he just drowned like he would in any other water. Okay, that was a mistake. So I wonder if that's a bit of coding. If they coded these speedways the exact same way they coded the ones in 2 and 3. And just didn't change it to where Spyro would drown when he would hit the water. It's a really easy thing to overlook, so I'm not too shocked. I just find it kind of interesting. The reason this one's particularly hard for the water is because it's so dark. So it is a little difficult to see where exactly the water starts. To give you an idea, those two arcs were both in the water. The very bottom of them was actually submerged. It's really hard to see that. Okay, new plan. Crud! Yeah, this is where it starts getting hard. This is the point where I would suggest just trying to find your own order to do things in. Because no matter what order it is, you're gonna have troubles. Also, I've seen people hammer out these speedways like nobody's business. They'll get like... I think I've seen someone have 10 full seconds left on the clock doing speedways like this, and I was just floored. Could be a problem though. Where is that last plane? Might be better if I leave all the planes for last. Try something a wee bit different. Not that. There's one thing that helps. That's not the right button. You can actually have Spyro abrupt turn, which is really good for hitting stuff you've missed. You know what, let's... focus on the planes first. I missed that one. That's not great. This whole area is where you're supposed to glide around and hit planes. Alright. Yeah, I missed that plane. Oh boy. Take a look around here. there's 5 incoming. And the other 5 are over here. Alright. I really hate the flying things in speedways because they just have weird hitboxes, it feels like. Maybe I'm just blind and I'm actually missing a mile away, but it feels like I should hit them sometimes and then I don't actually hit them. Dang nabbit. Like that. I feel like that should have hit for sure, and it didn't. Not like that as well. That absolutely should have hit. Oh well. Okay, I have a plan. Nope, just me failing at the speedway still. I have now gotten all the top level ones, so I'm going to go lower and hit the bottom level ones. That did it! Spyro! Holy crap, Spyro. Stop! Okay, that might have ruined plans, but we'll see. Yeah, that absolutely. If I had not hit it, I could have managed it. Oh well. It is a good plan, though. Let's try leaving all the chests this time. might work, but it's gonna be really close if it does. No, but I got close. New plan. That should hit. Oh, so close. Leave that, and leave that. Then start on the recommended path. Spyro. Spyro. Oh god. Okay, that'll work, but for some reason he didn't take back to the air before the bonking started. Might be cutting it too close, but if I can hit these two, then I only have to worry about the chests. I don't have to worry about trying to thread the needle for that one. Got it! Whew, that was not very clean, but I managed it. Once I was grateful for the loading screen, it actually gave me a minute to rest my fingers. Ow! Rude. Okay. Go get some fodder down here before I do anything else, I think. Whoa! Don't go in the water. Alright, so, game is fixed. Game is probably kind of loud, so I'm going to turn it back down to where it was before. Technical issues are now finished. Let's try this a third time.
Welcome to Wizard Peak. This is my favorite supercharged spot. Use it to bash those wizards.
There's a lot more dragons with feathered wings than I recalled. Yeah, even though these are big enemies, supercharged, let's just hit them. Maybe I can respawn the fodder if I go down and go back up. I legit forgot all of these dragons had feathered wings. I really thought it was just him. So I'm pretty sure I have to actually supercharge from here and then glide to get over there. I am more interested in getting everything around here on the ground before I start trying to do air shenanigans. Also, one thing to keep in mind in that sort of case is that Spyro will no longer stop mostly on a dime when you're doing supercharge. He will actually take a moment to fully come to a stop. That's next to water, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit Hexus here for the checkpoint. Ooh!
Well done, Spyro. Thank you for releasing me.
I like this dude. I can't tell for sure, but I think they actually got different voice actors for every dragon. Even though a lot of them just say thank you for releasing me. Which is kinda cool. At least I think it is. Yeah, there. I released the charge button, and it took Spyro about a second to fully come to a stop. You can only assume the thieves want the dragon eggs for, selling purposes. Also, this guy is just as easy to trick out as the other one. But once again, he's confined to a pool. It is a bigger pool, but it is still a singular pool. So one thing I've learned on the big enemies is to not be shy. Their animation stops if you hit them with the flame. So, charge towards them and just release at the last second and hit fire. Like that. And you will basically guarantee get away. Ooh.
Listen carefully, Spyro. There's a secret area in the artisan's home world near the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
He's talking about the
Homeworld? Waterfall. Sounds good.
speedway I showed off. Believe it or not, I never needed that hint. Even when I very first played the game for the first time, I noticed that the stones were there and I just jumped on them for fun, and then I unlocked the speedway and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Alright, time to start trying. Do stuff in the air. Yeah, this is a very difficult glide, I find. So we're probably going to be dying a lot. I always feel like I'm doing it wrong when I try to do this, but I really don't think I am. I think this is legitimately how you have to get there, because there's no other way you can access that area. You just have to jump a lot later than I actually did. Actually hit multiple of those, cool. I think what I did the first time is when I jumped I was still on the hill. So, that's why Spyro just hit the thing. You can actually get a really good look at the thieves here because he didn't have anywhere to go. Yeah, I don't really know what that thief's plan was. You know, Spyro was just kind of staring at him like, buddy, you know you don't got anywhere to go, right? Also, you don't have to actually stay on the supercharged ramp for Spyro to get purple in the supercharge. You just need to be charging in the same direction for a certain amount of time to trigger the supercharge upgrading like that. That's why it's good to start at the top of a ramp and why they tend to have long straightaways around stuff you're supposed to supercharge around. Thing about 79 gems. Alright, Sparks, lead us forward. So there's actually hidden areas up and around the sides, but I don't recall how to actually get up to them. That wizard is still alive. I gotta go fix that. I mean, technically I don't have to fix it, but the fact that he's alive bothers me. So right now there is a pathway we can get up on to get to the other areas, like the areas we saw the wizards when we first entered the stage. Don't remember where it is. I believe it's out here. You can see the pathways over there. I can't make that from here. No, it is too short. It might be from the start. I think you actually have to glide from the start to get to onto the alternate path. Every time I die, it gives me another of those little circles, so I guess if you die 20 times, you get a free life. Okay, that's my thing. There's a gem here I didn't pick up. Yeah, from the start, there is this alternate path right here you have to glide to get on. The Grim Reaper hands you a punch card when you first die. 20 deaths and your next life is free! Bonus for frequent flyers. If your manner of death makes us laugh, we give you 2 punches. That reminds me of a D&D story that I read. No, it wasn't a D&D story. It was something positive, I think. Basically, they were doing a D&D story, and one of them died. And when he got revived, one of the other party members said, "The priests knock half off the price because your cause of death made them laugh." And now I'm legitimately just imagining some kind of temple that has that. That has a punch card for how many resurrections you get, and if your cause of death makes the priest laugh, then they'll give you a discount on your next resurrection, or on that resurrection. Like 50% off if our current acting priest cracks up laughing when told about how you died. This might be a blind glide. Yep. Blind glides! Always nerve-wracking. That's it! That level is done. We have a whole level that is a bunch of chain supercharged tracks and one really, really difficult one. And oh boy, is that one going to be a thing. Yep. So time for the boss. I believe you actually had to look that one up for me as well because I legitimately had no idea what I was supposed to do. I actually find Blowhard to be the easiest boss in the game, personally. Ow. Be very careful, those guys can and will snipe you if you give them the chance. As will those guys. So that is Blowhard right there. He's some kind of hillbilly tornado. I think his stage is harder than he is, which is not really the case for a lot of the bosses, I think. So there is one case where the boss and the stage are about as equally hard. Whether that counts for the boss himself or not depends on whether or not you think a boss's stage is part of the boss themselves, for the ones that have it. Ooh, those are owl wings.
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped in Crystal. And, neither do I. Who are you again?
I'm out of here.
Why are all the old dragons so forgetful? Like, come on, guys. Get him a journal, a pen. They're bipedal, they can write. We actually don't know how long Spyro dragons live. Excuse me, my voice cracked there a minute. We don't actually know how long Spyro dragons live. We're never given a time frame. We do know that they have eggs. I believe it was once every 100 years. And that's blowhard. We're done with the fight. That's it. That's all there was. Yeah, we don't know how long the dragons live, but I do believe they 3 establishes that they have a breeding season every 100 years on the Year of the Dragon. As far as I'm aware, it was confirmed that every dragon in this game... Starting this and it's over. You're right that there's not a lot of dragons, because as far as I'm aware, it was confirmed that every dragon in this game is every dragon that exists. Up to this point.
Thank you, Spyro, for recovering so many of our dragon eggs. Hop aboard for the Beastmaker's world if you're ready.
It was Makers, I got it right.
Would you like to go?
Also, I do find it curious that the balloonists live here, but we do know the fairies live in the Dragon Realms as well, and in fact, fairies and dragons actually have a very, very tight, what's the word I'm looking for? Relationship?